Welcome to a redhead rewriting reality, presented by multi-genre author Kimberly Sue Iverson, a place where stories are companion to life, where stories become a bridge that connect us all, and conversations feel like coming home. I am your host, Kimberly Sue Iverson, and today I'll be sharing with you a story that's close to my heart. If you prefer to read along or explore more stories, visit my website at kimberlysueiverson.com. This audio experience is intended for an adult audience. Themes and topics may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Now, get yourself comfy and make yourself at home as we explore today's tale. The brain be glitchin. So, I definitely forgot some things last week. I completely forgot that I have Guardians of the Void still in my files and haven't published it. It's ready, just not formatted to publish for ebook and paperback. Last year, I was not in a space to be able to format it for sale, and I was releasing it chapter by chapter over on Ream Stories. I didn't really have time or anything to market that, so I added that advertisement at the end of the audio for this, as well as each blog post, but that was about it. I did manage to keep sharing when I posted the chapters in the beginning with some information on what that chapter was. The book is still listed over there in case you wanted it, but I may end up closing that account anyway. For now, I leave it. It's one of many things I'm now sorting out. Things have changed from last year when I had all these plans for everything, and brain is sorting it all out. As much as me trying to sort through to get organized in the house. Ream is essentially like Coffee and Patreon, just geared toward authors and writers. And you can automatically set up chapters to share too. It's why I was trying it out. I might still share my Priestess Chronicles chapter by chapter over there as I work and give extras, or just do it on my site or Coffee. Since I haven't started writing again, I don't really have a rush on that idea. If that's something you're interested in, tell me. That too might push me, as well as where to post them. What would work best for you and all. Too many crickets when it comes to my work. I find too many will not speak up, and then I do something and quit it, but that is when they say something. That can be frustrating. If you want something or like something, it's kind of important to tell the author, writer, or whoever, I like this. I am paying attention to this. Please keep doing this. Not that you enjoyed it long after they quit, because partly they figured nobody was paying attention, and it wasn't earning anything, so why keep it going? Consider all those series that Netflix cancels. They do it because, it may gain traction later on, but when they release it, it's meh. It doesn't hit the amount they need. I'm simplifying it, I'm aware. They're not going to spend time, energy, and money on things that isn't given a return right away, when they have other things that do. Too many wait too long to really express interest in something. I'm guilty too, mind you. And then that creator is saying, well, There's no interest, I will quit. Only to find out after there was. They were just being quiet about it. This helps nobody. It can be disheartening to put a lot of time, energy, and effort into something and people say nothing and give nothing in return. I have plenty who mention doing it for the love, and whether they make money or not, they will. I'm the same, but this is also my job and work. I do this to pay bills. I want to be able to afford to pay any and all I need to pay and, eat. So yes, I am doing this for an income. I know a lot of it is that we have so much to consume now, we don't really think about it. But often that's why people get more extravagant, bigger, louder, more outrageous, just to be seen and make money. That concerns me. The little guys aren't the ones being rewarded. And how far are people going to go to make money one day? Even when they've been working years and years and years and are still chugging along, while people look at them and assume they're clearly not doing much because they aren't making much, when it's just not true. I've seen many author friends of mine come and go, disappearing into the ether. Heard too many stories of people working their tail off to finally make something, and they couldn't, so didn't just give up, but took their life for it because they weren't able to pay bills. It's not as easy as people think to be a creative or for everyone to work a quote-unquote real job. And it's the age-old get a quote-unquote real job. Is it that real job you turn to when you are working that real job and need a break? I bet it's a creative you turn to when you need an escape, whether it be a book, a movie, music, art, the list goes on. So imagine a life where no creative existed. No music, no movies, no art, no TV shows, no books, no blogs, no websites, no games, no newspapers, no magazines, and on. You enjoy that world? Value creatives a bit more and show them that value. We all have our place in this society. As much as we all value the manual labor folks who give us food, water, provide electricity, and show that to them, a creative has no reliable income and is still getting up every day to put in that same work, sometimes more, sometimes less, but it's still taxing to do. They do still suffer a lot of physical and mental or emotional stressors from the job, just in different ways. As much as a creative needs the one who creates the electricity or whatever to do their work, the quote-unquote real job individuals need creatives to escape for a time and give them a break from their hard work. Even executives are needed and business people. We all benefit from one another and need one another. We all serve our purpose in the work we do, value we hold, even down to mothers and fathers at home with the kids who people think isn't work. Go babysit a group of toddlers and we'll talk at the end of the day if you're still functioning and able to think. I also remembered that I didn't mention the paperbacks. I have over 53 stories published, and only a handful are back in paperback. I have the funds to slowly begin putting the paperbacks back out. When I went with my full name, I was having to update all the paperback covers and interiors, but I also was moving them from Amazon to Lulu. It's nothing to do with Amazon. So if you're an author, I do recommend them, or draft to digital for paperbacks. I just don't want all the eggs in the Amazon basket. I also earn more if I use Lulu for my paperbacks and someone buys direct from Lulu. So those will be worked on more too. Also, as a note, I put a freebie up in the back of all my paperbacks, which means when you buy a paperback, there's a free story or information from the book in the back. I have to get some more shorts written too. That way, some paperbacks will have an exclusive free short or information from the story world snippet of the next story. In some instances, I do a short and info. I like to include author notes and whatever I might think of around the story in the back. Maybe where the idea came from, or what's to come if it's in a series or world. It doesn't cost me anything but pennies if I add a short in the back, and I don't price gouge the paperback for it. That's the point of it being free. I get enough from paperbacks, and sometimes I actually sell more paperbacks than ebooks. So if you're an author, bear that in mind. Too many think people aren't buying paperbacks anymore. It could be from the free short. It could not be. I'm not sure. I haven't tested anything around that to see. I'm merely pointing out my paperbacks are being purchased. Next to my fiction, I also have a lot of things to catch up on and deal with where it comes to my website and even coffee page. I haven't worked on either of those in who knows how long. They're still talking about my mom passing, so those things definitely have to get worked on. Update and remove all of that. Also cleaning up the design, since I'd set it for the holidays when I last touched it, but left the stuff up about my mom there. When I was talking about what my brother and I decided around him managing the finances and I with the house, I also wanted to make clear, as you're noticing by this talk, I'm talking about the main stuff we have to deal with for both of us. It was occurring to me anyone who heard me mention that could easily misinterpret that and see it as me allowing my brother to control all the finances and I hold control over the house. We don't work that way. I don't work that way. I find it very difficult to fully hand over control of anything having to deal with myself for any reason these days. It's why I can be a royal pain in the tuchus to deal with. It's almost as if I have this feeling I need to cling to everything or it'll fall apart. I've even said it, that I do feel that way, and I do experience that a lot. I'm working on being better about that, which is also funny to say, because if my brother goes into the kitchen to cook, I'm not up his bum wanting to know what he's making or doing or how. I'm not telling him how. When he first wanted to use the stove and oven, I made sure he knew how I figured out it operated, since I'd already used it, and I was helping so he didn't have that fun figuring out the oven and timer. The oven here has a small upper oven and a big lower one, and 2 panels for controlling the different ovens. So the timer alone, I kept trying to figure out how it worked, since it's different from the oven we'd had. Now, unless he asks, unlike my mom, who we both know was a complete control freak, I don't say a word or do anything. I've never been one who had to hold that level of control, Considering how easygoing I naturally am, it's just there are those things that I can't even begin to list, where I innately feel this weird urge to cling tight to as if I need to. I know I don't. That's not rational. None of us have to cling that desperately to anything. And it's like clinging to sand or water. How well does that work out in the end? Exactly. Maybe it's just my sanity I'm clinging to. I find my mind wanting to drift a lot these days. I could lose hours doing nothing, saying nothing, and just let my mind drift if I wanted. As I have said, it could be something going on. It could just be grief finally sinking in and claiming me, so it's depression. Load her up on antidepressants, huh? Or rush me along to get better. Offer words of wisdom. Don't need that. I still eat, sleep well. It's just the social aspect it's affecting most. Often since I'm living Groundhog Day and don't have much to say. Don't want to argue people. Don't want to debate people. Don't want to really update anyone on what I'm doing. Don't want to talk about my feelings, how I am. Just wanting quiet. I barely even talk to my brother or dogs. I'm here. I'm present. Just quiet. In my own little head and in my own little world. Like I said, it's like I'm drifting. What's the word? Detached. I've always dealt with it. I still function for everything decent enough except for social connections. Those are a wee bit off. Why I said last week I apologize to anyone on the receiving end of that for those in my life and who stick around in my life despite that. I am not naturally easy to get that close to anyway because of everything I've been through. I have severe trust issues. But right now, those people close to me are appreciated when they don't take it personal. You are if you're one. More to come. Thank you for reading and subscribing. Or listening in this case. I know how valuable your time is. So it means so much that you're here. And I am beyond grateful you chose to spend this time with me. What are your thoughts? Engage with me and start a conversation. Just don't be rude about it. And as always, your shares are so incredibly appreciated. Share with anyone you think may enjoy this. Word of mouth is the best form of expanding the reach, so this reaches the eyes and ears of whoever may enjoy it. My donation link, if you'd like to support this and help keep it going, is ko-fi.com/Kimberly Sue Iverson. That's ko-fi.com/Kimberly Sue Iverson. Every little bit helps. So thank you for your generosity. Remember, apparition weavers, everyone is fighting battles inside nobody can see. Who are you willing to see today? And who are you willing to let see you today? Want a chance for your story to be featured? Whether you're an author starting out, published and want to boost, have a tale of old to tell that has been passed down through family, or just want to share your own life experience, get in touch. Email storiesToRead@KimberlySueIverson.com. That's storiesToRead@KimberlySueIverson.com.